So she's paid one.
Yes, Your Honor, my understanding is the A file was a double parking ticket, and that one's been paid in full and closed out.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at how much she's actually paid on this particular ticket. You know, I mean, she's had warrant fees added, she's had late fees added. She's made some payments, even though they're small, she has made some payments.
Judge, can I speak real quick? Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think you have to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But here's what I will say, and the only reason it's taken me so long.
Quick insight for everyone watching: when a judge brings up how someone treats courthouse staff, that's a huge deal. Judges take courtroom respect seriously because it reflects on your attitude toward the justice system. What do you think? Should disrespect ever influence a judge's leniency? Let me know in the comments.
Ms. Patterson, saying this with all due respect to you. You know, I have a note in the file that you were, you know, not very friendly with the staff downstairs. And you know, that gives me pause when I'm thinking about, you know, basically absolving you or waiving extra fines, because I know my staff here, and I know that Ms. Gilmer has been doing the collections program for a very long time. They're polite, they're normal human beings, and I don't like to see them mistreated. So,
no,
you know, the only reason
okay.
I'm talking.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Listening. You're listening. So my only reason, under any other circumstance, I would have said, yeah, that's great. It basically covers the original cost of the ticket. Let this person move on with their life. And, you know, but it gives me pause when I see notes in the file that, you know, that you've called the court and you made a comment about how, you know, the judge will just throw it out and dismiss it because she knows how, you know, how the system works. Like, things like that are icky to me. And I think, like, you have a right to come to court. You have a right to, you know, and I certainly want to be fair to you. And I'm not going to punish you when you've paid, you know, you've paid more than the original cost of the ticket. It just continues to accrue late fees and warrant fees because of the age of the ticket. And I'm not, you know, but I want to let you know, like, just like when you deal with anyone else, right? We call customer service or whoever, like, you might not like what they have to say. They got a job to do and they have bosses, you know, and how you treat people at lower levels, you know, or people that you think are of no consequence or don't really matter, you know, does affect sometimes people higher up, if that makes sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't want to give you a benefit if you're mistreating my staff, but I also, in fairness to you, you've paid $140, $50, $160 on the ticket already. So I am
there, and there's no red light on the camera.
So I am closing out the file and I am applying your bond, but I want you to remember this, or at least think about it at some point next time you have a problem. Because those people downstairs put notes in files for judges to read.
Okay.
All right. And they're just human beings that come to work every day.
Can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say I was never trying to be rude. I sound kind of crazy because I'm a little sick, but I never was trying to be rude to her. I just was trying to see a judge because she was said I had to write a letter, but in my accident, I messed up my finger. So I was trying to tell her, like, can I just see a judge? Because I know I've been doing this long enough that I'm hoping that I could try to get this closed out. But she kept saying I had to write a letter. But I'm like, I can't write a letter because my hand is messed up. And I'm like, I kept trying to ask to see a judge. And she like, you can't without a letter. Like, I never was trying to be disrespectful or anything.
All right. Miss Patterson, listen, when people come to court, they're generally frustrated, right? Any day someone sees me is generally not the best day of their life, unless I'm doing a wedding. So, you know, I respect all of that. I just think, you know, my mom was a waitress for years and years and years. And I think it's really important for all of us to just kind of remember that we all matter.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's all, but I am applying your bond and closing out the file because of the payments you've made. And just, you know, sometimes we gotta take a breath. You know?
Yes, ma'am.
But Ms.
I
Patterson,
understand.
you're all set for the day, okay?
Okay, thank you. I don't have to do anything else.
No, ma'am, we're gonna apply that $100 and close out the file.
Thank you.
Confirmed by a lab on February 5th. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
That you failed to attend group therapy on the week of 2/5.
Guilty.
That you failed to PVT on 2/9.
Guilty.
All right, I'm gonna accept the pleas as knowing and voluntarily given. Esperanza, I want you to know I talked to you yesterday. I talked to you when you came in for your probation visit. I have literally heard every excuse under the sun as to why someone tests positive for a substance that they didn't ingest. And I wish you could just be honest, because if you think for a minute that I think you didn't.
Okay, this right here is classic courtroom leadership. The judge isn't just enforcing the law, she's protecting defendants from unfair costs and calling out shady fees. Notice the mix of frustration and fairness. That's why people love her courtroom clips. Would you trust this judge to handle your case fairly?
Ingest this, you're wrong. You did. You did. You tested positive for it. It somehow ended up your nose, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
You
I
did.
have no reason to lie to you guys.
I know. I mean, I can't figure out why either, but you tested positive for cocaine.
Yes, I am.
So you did something with cocaine to test positive for it.
Yes, I was around people that were using it.
How Esperanza? Explain to me how you being in a room with people that did cocaine had you test positive for cocaine.
Well, I wasn't I didn't know that they were using, but my friend later in the night had told me, and I'd been sharing my drinks and stuff with her all night.
No. Okay. All right. Listen, Esperanza, we can't help you if you don't want help, if you don't want to be honest. And I mean, I just can't. And I know you got a lot going on, but it's like, how do I mean, I can't really even work with that. And like, you're not lying to me. You're lying to you. You're not hurting me. You're hurting you. Because this isn't my program. It's your program. And like what you get out of this is what you put into it. You know, and everything we talked about yesterday stands. Like, I believe all of that. I think you have so much potential. I think you can do so many things in your life. And I hate to see you limit yourself. And you've been in the program long enough that you know better.
Yes.
You know, and I know I know that the last month or two have been rough. Like, I get that. I know, right? I mean, I think you got to, and I see this a lot, you know, people get to a certain point in their recovery where they start to feel a little confident, right? Like, I can do this. I got
definitely
this.
think that I got way too confident.
Yeah.
I'm too comfortable with some people that, you know, I can't rely on people.
No,
That's
and
not how it is. It's
and-
my program. So.
And it is, and it's your life, and you can turn it around. There are people in this program that have come in a mess and have left and now lead these productive, like, beautiful lives.
Right.
But like, that part's on you.
Yeah.
It's not like I can come down and beg you to do better. I can come down and offer words of encouragement, but like, ultimately, like, this is your chance. You've got 1.5 years left to make good choices. And yeah, your friends, whoever you were with, they suck.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were here the other day, we had one of the women from treatment court went to jail and she was hanging out with her friends and, you know, ended up doing something with them she shouldn't have done. Were you here for that?
No,
Because I asked her when she walked to jail to go spend a week in county, I asked her to look behind her and did she see her friends? And she didn't. And you won't either. You're going to do your time alone.
Right.
They're not going with you. Like, your life is yours.
I know.
And it's so easy to blow it.
You know that I've done it for a couple of years now, and I just want to have an easier life for sure.
Esperanza, you need a good sponsor.
Yes.
You need someone in your life that you can talk to. right?
Yeah.
So, and not, maybe it's not an old lady that smokes, menthol cigarettes, and what, maybe it's someone, closer to your age, or somebody that you can relate with,
Yeah.
because you need someone you can call that's going to answer their phone, because this can't be your default.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not here forever. Kelsey's not here forever. I'm almost done lecturing everybody if you're curious, but like, we're not here.
Yeah.
You got to take care of you. And
Quick insight for everyone watching: when a judge brings up how someone treats courthouse staff, that's a huge deal. Judges take courtroom respect seriously because it reflects on your attitude toward the justice system. What do you think? Should disrespect ever influence a judge's leniency? Let me know in the comments.
we just want you to be in a position where you can do that.
Me too.
But you got to hold yourself accountable. And anybody around you that is like,
Yeah.
I mean, I find it hard to believe, as someone who had done coke before, that you couldn't tell that these people were on coke. I mean, the whole thing to me is kind of ridiculous. But listen, like, your choices, like, now like, those people, whoever it was, they're not good for you. You don't go around them anymore. Don't go out with them. You don't need a ride that bad. Do not do that.
I know.
Can't surround yourself with drug-using peers. It's all incredibly well. So, is there anything with respect to the pre-sentence investigation, counsel?
Your Honor, pre-sentence report is accurate. Mrs. Hall reports to me that she hasn't had anything to drink in approximately 5 months.
Good job.
The only concern she has, Your Honor, I think she's doing really well with the sobriety end of it. She has some financial issues. Her house is subject to tax sales in Detroit, and she owes taxes and everything. So, and she's being garnished on top of everything else. So 25% of her net income is taken off the top due to a civil judgment. So she's trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak, Your Honor, on these costs. So I'd ask the court, I think she's a really great candidate for the sobriety court, and she's doing well. If there's any way the court could work with her on the financial end, I think the terms are reasonable, and I know they're required by the sobriety court, the great majority of those terms. But I'd ask the court to consider if there's some way she could get some help with because I think that's costing her about $400 a month. And in addition to the court costs of $150, not enough.
She's not. What's that?
She's on the scram test.
She's on the scram. Okay.
Is there any possibility of letting her just do the random testing now that
she's got to do, how many days has she been on the scram?
She's been
8
on
weeks.
since she's almost done, I believe.
So she's getting the scram off. So she's got to do the 90 days. It'll go back to when we put it on her.
Okay.
So she should only, what does that mean? 8 weeks? I'm really bad at math.
Anytime so
9 weeks. Yeah, you've just got a few more weeks left on the scram. When you hit 90 days, Kara calls them, you come in, they take it off.
Yeah, I'm just about like a month and a half already behind. I think the new month comes up with the payment today, so just.
You're behind on the payments for the scram?
They're letting me make payments. I've got 100 for them today, but the new bill comes out today and I'm still like behind on the payment. So,
All right.
I'm doing what I can.
They charge $100 fee for having to come in and testify. So we found that out when she told me about it, and I had asked them about it, so they added to her fees.
That's ridiculous.
Because I'm paying you to monitor it, and then you.
Well, why would she pay that fee? Why would, so they're a witness? Well, I don't like that at all.
I agree.
I mean, how much money are we sending that? How much money, how many people in our program are we spending on GPS or scram tethers? And then they think they're going to charge people. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. So I'll come down and talk to you and Matt about that today, because they are not doing that. They're not. That's absurd. They can't charge for their testimony like that. Like, then we'll find another tether company that will come in and not charge us $100 for them to testify. We ask them to come in how many times a year? Twice since I've been here. That's less than one time a year, and they think they're gonna charge our people for that. That's not happening. That's not happening. They'll eat that, or we'll find another company immediately. That's infuriating.
Sorry.
No, not to
Oh,
you,
sorry, you.
not you. I think that's ridiculous that a company that we use because we trust them, and I have 60-something people in a treatment court wearing that thing for 90 days. I'm not good at math. I went to law school for a reason and not math school, but it's a lot of money. For them to not eat that $200, that's absurd. So that is not on you. That is, I'm frustrated with them that they would even try and charge for that. So let me say this, and we're not on YouTube because I want you to know, but I'm not going to announce it to the world.